Hello everyone, it's your host here, Unga Umlandeli Welanga. Today I want us to look at the symbols, or I want to introduce the symbols used in astrology for, for the 7 planets. These symbols are more or less recognized the worldwide. It doesn't matter whether you're looking at Vedic astrology, Asian, or up north in Africa, like in Egypt, for example. You would still be able to recognize these symbols. There's a travesty that is happening among in the communities of Laba, who are saying they are woke, or they are conscious, or they are returning to their ancestral ways, or the old paths, the old road, the old time religion. There's this demeanor where we want to dismiss anything that does not, due to lack of understanding, look like it relates to us, or it relates to how we interpret the unfolding of reality. These symbols have fallen prey to that mentality where you find bright young minds confidently saying, I will not look or not study anything Western or not African, because it's not of my ancestors. And then you find again that in the very same breath, we are the ones who say Africa gave the world civilization. So on one side we say, or we claim rather, actually, let me say it like that. We claim we gave the world civilization, but at the same time, we cannot recognize the symbols that we supposedly gave to those civilizations. In the Northern Hemisphere, the Kemetic calendar, or the Egyptian calendar, for example, the Dendera stone is probably the oldest intact astronomical record. Don't quote me on this. Some even dare say that it might be that record or that reckoning might be as old as 200,000 years old. That's how long the Egyptians had been looking at the stars and making these the observations, the realizations that, okay, in the dry season, if you're looking east, these are the constellations. In the wet season, these are the constellations. In spring, these are the constellations. And so they began doing the work of putting it down, realizing, oh, okay, if this cluster, if at a specific time it looks faded or it's bright, that tells something concerning the start of our plowing season, or how our harvest will look. These were the observations made, and then from these observations, the ancients put together ways of communicating. They built a script of communicating these truths. And so abalandeli welanga, or as umlandeli welanga, I do not hold any of the rhetoric. I do not uphold it, because it's a mind block. Actually, it's a chip on my shoulder which has become a mind block. Because let's face it, as a race, we have lost a lot of knowledge over the centuries. We gave a lot in the past, and we've lost a lot as well. And so I don't know whether when we say we don't want anything to do with Western systems or Western knowledge? Is that just being lazy, or we just genuinely we have not put these two realizations together, that if we gave it to them, then we should be able to recognize it when it's coming back. If we gave the world civilization, we should be able to interpret what they're using our systems, our symbols. And so, without any further ado, this is a quick rundown as to the symbols that we use for our 7 planets. Here we have the All-Father, Jupiter, or Father Time, or uNomaqhama ngesiZulu. This is a isigela, or a sickle. Is it a sickle? The English is running now. That gardening tool, isigela. Yeah, the English is running away. He is recognized as the bringer or the harbinger of death. His iconography now is it's a dark figure wearing a robe with a covered face, but the face is a skeleton, and he's holding the sigel. That is the symbology for the All-Father, Saturn. You can see the star in the southern hemisphere during the coldest times in winter. From June, July, even now in August, after sunset, anyway, I think after 8 o'clock, yes, you'll be able to see Saturn rising, and shortly behind him is his son, Jupiter. Umkhulu khulwana ngesiZulu. I hope you can see that it actually looks like the figure 4. The figure 4. Some writers ascribe this to the fact that when the planets were allocated days in the week, the planet Jupiter is the 4th, counting from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's that 4 or Thor, because this is also Thor or Shango in some of our West African cultures. What I forgot to add here is that uNomaqhama exalts. I put the symbol here, but I rubbed it out. Nomaqhama exalts in Libra, or the scales of Libra. That is that time when the sun is dipping below the horizon. That's how we express it in astrology. That would be now either September or March. And so now Libra for us in the southern hemisphere, there would be March when the summer is departing. That is where the scales would be. That is where Lady Justice would stand with the scales, or Ma'at, or Matla, the goddess of truth, justice, and righteousness. Yeah, Nomaqhama exalts in Libra. Exaltation, of course, meaning the planet is in strength. It's a king. It's in his kingship. He's a lord. And then when a planet is debilitated, or when it's in its vice, it's called a slave, or it becomes, or that's the flip evil side. And so Saturn, or Nomaqhama, is debilitated in spring. See that symbol there? That's the symbol of the horns, rams. Sorry, yeah, the rams, the rams of the horns of a ram. Sorry, yes, spring. When lambs are born, And so the harbinger of death, he exalts when the sun is going down, and then he's defeated in the spring when the sun is rising to strength. And then his son, Jupiter, oh, Kronos, that's the other word as well. Kronos, chronology, crown, the crown, is Tolo. We also have in Zulu, we have Mkele, or we have the Kifa or the Kippa in the Hebrews, that hat that sits here. That's the ring of Saturn, or the ring of Satan. Yes, that is where that comes from. And then Jupiter now, Jup, Mkhulu Khulwana in Zulu, the son of Kronos, or Jesus, Shango, or Thor. He follows also around June. You'll be able to see him. Saturn comes up, and then a little behind Saturn, or lower to the horizon, you'll see Jupiter. It's actually much brighter than Saturn. Now Jupiter exalts in Cancerian energy, and is exalted or becomes a mastery, slavery, and is a slave in Capricorn energy. Yes, Cancerian energy, of course, being the summer, the brightness of the Father, summer, the first begotten, the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. They are always together. They are always together. What else can I add here? In Cancer, in the southern hemisphere, that's when he exalts. So around 25 June, at sunset, after sunset, you will see the star. The 25th, it's actually showing us that we are entering a new year, because Jupiter rules. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, and the sign Cancer begins on the 21st of June, I think, and then the 25th for the southern hemisphere being the first day out of the wintry tomb of the winter solstice. And so on the 25th, the exaltation of Mkhulu Khulwana. And then here we have Mars, Unomtshezi. This is a shield. That's a shield and spear. Shield and spear. Like I said, these symbols they're quite universal. They are quite universals. So Mars is said to be the husband of Venus. These two, again, you always see them together. The Mars, or the Mar, Mary, just some words coming based on that M-A-R, or that fiery element. Mars is fire, by the way. Mars rules the first constellation of spring. Yes. Mars rules the first constellation of spring. And Mars exalts in... is this correct? Yes. No, it's not. This is supposed to be... this is supposed to be Capricorn. Mars exalts in Capricorn. Mars rules spring, or Aries. but he exalts in Capricorn. Rulership and being exalted, meaning more or less the same thing. When a planet is in its house, it's the ruler. And when it's in its exaltation, even though it's in a constellation or a house that is not of its own, it is still treated as ruler. It's like going to your friend's house and he gives you the head seat in the dining table and says mi casa is su casa, and gives you rulership in his home. The Bible, Mars is called the Lord of War, the vengeful God. This is also the god Twi, or the god of two, the god Hengabana, or the god of of being twin-minded, Tuesday, or the Twa, if I were to venture that far. And so yeah, so he exalts the beginning of spring and is debilitated when summer ends and the sun is falling below the horizon. He's debilitated in the fall. That would be March for us. March 25. That's when, and forward and onward. That is when the planet Mars would be in slave mode. And then here we have Jupiter with the horns, or unomjubane, or unomajubane, the Flash. The messenger of the gods. The reason being, Mercury does the fastest circuit around the sun, so that is why they call him the speedster, Nomachubane, the Flash. Nomachubane exalts in Virgo. Yes, he exalts in Virgo and debilitated in the twin fish, Pisces. And each day is assigned a planet, and then each hour as well throughout the day is also assigned a planet. So to give you a rough sketch of this, the hour from sunrise, and then each position is given about plus minus 2 hours. So the hour from sunrise, depending on what time sunrise is, I'll use 6 o'clock just to simplify this, to simplify where I'm going. From 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, that would belong to the energy of spring. Or yeah, just before sunrise, you start hearing the birds chirping. Nature buzzes. It literally becomes alive. You know, there's this rush of newness, of spring energy. That's 6 to 8, and then from 8 to 10 belongs to the Taurus now, the bull, Nkomo, the bull of labor. That is when we go out. That's when we head out. That's when we head out into the fields to work. That's 8 to 10, and then 10 to 12 belongs to the messenger of the gods. Did you hear that? 10 to 12. I'd like to believe this is one of the reasons why across denominations, whether it's the Seventh-day churches or it's the Sunday churches, the divine hour, the divine service hour always happens between 10 a.m. and 12 midday. It's always set there. It's because that hour belongs to the messenger of the gods, Iskijimi Umgijimi. also Gabriel, if ngikhumbula kahle. What else can we add here? Yes, the Mercury. Mercury, if you actually look, it's very similar to Venus. The only difference is that Mercury has horns. Oh yes, how can I forget? Mercury is also called Jehuti or Tehuti, or Moshe, Moses, or Hermes. Yes, that's Mercury. And then we have, yes, as I've touched on Venus. We're on Venus now, which is also the sign of the Ankh, by the way. Same thing. It's just that on the Ankh, this cross section is a bit higher. Venus we call in Zulu Unokwezi. Yes. We call Unokwezi. Venus is also called the morning star when it can be seen before sunrise, when it rises before the sun, before the approaching of the early sun. Then he's called the bright morning star. Venus or Lucifer is called the bright morning star. And then in the evening, when he's following the sun, he's called the bright evening star. How thou art fallen, or Lucifer. That's him. That's him now as the evening star, falling or following the sun. Unokwezi exalts in. I'd actually covered a bit of this. Unokwezi exalts in Pisces. The two fish, the feet. Yes, that's where Unokwezi exalts. Ruling, of course, Tiau, or the bull. And also the scales of Libra, or the scales of Ma'ata, or the scales of Somandla, Matla, Mandla, Amandla, Aman, Amen. Those are just some of the word plays that are involved there. And yes, so yeah, he exalts in Taurus and is debilitated or becomes a slave in the constellation Virgo, the Sacred Virgin. And then we have, what else can I add about Venus? I've actually covered Venus in the video Tiau, the seven churches. And then we have the symbol for the sun. The sun exalts in spring. The sun exalts in the Leo or Judah energy signature. The Leo or the Judah energy signature being the sun at its most, not highest, the sun when it gives off the most heat. That's for that position so we said 10 to 12 is Mercury, and then 12 to 2 is Cancer. So it's between around 2 o'clock. You know those summer days when it peaks like close to 40 degrees. That's the lion. That's the lion of that's the lion of Judah. Hasilia Rastafari. That's the lion of Judah. And then he is debilitated. Exaltation and debilitation is always at opposite signs, which means if the sun is exalted in Leo, the opposite of Leo, of course, is Aquarius. So that would be the sun's debilitation. And then we have, last but not least, we have we have the moon. Yes, we have the moon. We have the moon. The moon, men, also and called Sin in Canaan. It's the sin god, the moon god, Nyanga. That's the vibrational energy. Here's Nyanga. Those who follow Nyanga. In Canaan, Yah is actually a sin god, or Yahweh. Yah, yes, he's called Sin. It's the moon god. And the moon is exalted in Taurus and debilitated in Scorpio, in the sex organs. Hence, we have the Lord Yahweh, whose rituals always have to do with the bull. Remember the Old Testament? Slaughtering of the bulls? Yep. The God who wants the slaughtering of bulls for the God who wants the slaughtering of bulls, and who's also immensely against sexual immorality. Ooh, I don't know what is happening to the sun now, but yeah, that's the God Sin. So yes, that's just a basic summary. There's much more to this. There's so much more to this. If you want to venture even further, you can study astrology. There's also cosmic biology or solar biology, where now where you study how these vibrational frequencies, how they affect our bodies. And there's even a deeper one where now you study these vibrational frequencies in relation to the seasons, not just the seasons, but the months. The study of what's the word? The study of rainfalls, the study of rainfall, like and droughts and things like that, and how it relates to which planet doing what and when. And so yes, that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like our page. It's capital letters NGA Nga on YouTube. We are also on Facebook. You can search for Nga, capital letters NG and small letter A. Abalandeli belanga. Thank you very much.